Hey there you! Welcome to my gaming corner. My name is Panda Girl and I invite you to sit, relax and stay a while and give me the chance to make you smile. Welcome back to Agatha Christie's Hercule Poirot's The First Cases. We have some stuff to do, we need to talk to some people, we need to figure out who the murderer was or who the murderers were, and we're gonna do that today. Let's get going. The search is on. Here is everyone, even the servants are here.
Detective, what is the meaning of all this?
Oh my goodness, Cassandra.
Madame, I ask that you all lend me your ears for only a few moments. What I have to say is of great significance to everyone. You are all invited here to celebrate the engagement of Mademoiselle Angeline van den Bosch and Monsieur Gédéon Demire, the coming together of two prevalent families. But the celebrations were short-lived, as Major Felix Hagen was found dead in his study by a young servant of the house. It then became my responsibility and obligation as a detective to uncover the truth behind his demise. My initial examination of his study exposed a number of things I did not expect to find. Things I have no desire to divulge at this time, but what I can say is this. It was no simple murder. A letter demanding ransom for a continued silence confirmed this. I am sure some, if not all of you, have heard whispers of a series of blackmails that have plagued the social elite in recent weeks. After hearing of the letters in the major study, you may ask if it was him behind the letters. You may further ask if he was preparing his next threat to another unsuspecting victim. It is a question that crossed even my mind. That was until I sought the truth. That in fact it was the Major that had fallen victim to our blackmailer Mystérieux. Last night I spoke with you all, confirmed your whereabouts in the house over the course of the evening, and while I would have expected such questioning to reveal a potential suspect, what I learned was that it could not have been one of you.
What do you mean, not one of us? The man was stabbed. He hardly did that to himself. There is still a killer in the house.
Pardon, monsieur, if you would allow me to finish. It could not have been only one of you. Rather a partnership.
In cahoots,
if you will. Conversations today have revealed facts that I was not expecting to discover. And although they may have muddied and complicated my investigation, what I must do to bring the guilty parties to justice has become clearer. Those of you that spun stories in an attempt to confuse and derail my investigation have made a grave mistake in underestimating my intelligence.
You get him,
Detectives
Poirot.
may fall for such deception, but I can assure you, Detective Poirot is no such fool.
Whoop whoop.
My investigation is far from over, and swift justice shall be dealt to those that have committed such appalling acts and have continued to mislead and lie to protect themselves. Now, I must continue mon enquête, and I shall leave you to consider that you may be beside a cold-hearted killer. Bonsoir. Monsieur Sterling, un moment.
Oh my gosh.
Quite the speech, Detective.
Quite. Oh, that was so chilling. Oh my gosh, he's so good.
Merci, but it was not made to entertain, more to warn the guilty parties that I am hot on their heels, no matter how clever they believe themselves to be.
Well, if there is anything I can do.
I'd like to search the guests' bedrooms.
Is that really necessary?
Yes.
The murderer remains at large, and there is still no sign of the weapon. I would say that makes them essential.
Of course. I still just cannot imagine any of them being guilty of his murder.
Yeah, it's not any one of them.
It may be hard to imagine, but it is the truth.
When you returned to the study last night, did you notice anything different from our previous visit?
Nothing. But I was so preoccupied with the Major. Sorry, Detective. Should I have?
Yes.
Perhaps it was just my mind playing games again.
Maybe one of the guests got lost and wandered in.
Dude, I don't trust you at all. If a guest had taken a wrong turn finding themselves in the Major's bedroom first, I'm sure they would not have proceeded through the next door unless they were not lost at all. Quite. Who has access to the safe in the Major's study?
Master Hagen had a key, obviously, and Lady Vandenbosch.
And you? Monsieur Demir was quite sure Archibald also had a copy of the key. It is not something one would easily forget. Regarding access to the safe, you have seen its contents before?
When requested, aye. If something is required from there when Master Hagen is not around.
Forgive me. If he is not around, how is it you access this safe?
It's not what you think, Detective.
What I think is that you have been trusted with a copy of the key, and you have lied to me about it.
Yeah, tell me.
I only lied because of the trouble I can get into with Lady Vandenbosch.
At this moment, monsieur, you should be more worried about the trouble you shall find yourself in with the law.
Right.
I know how it will sound, but I must have set it down somewhere, and it has been tidied away.
Oh no.
Master Hagen asks so rarely for me to go in the safe. I think it would be missed.
Oh no, and someone found the letters. Oh my goodness. And that's where the black veil started. You are responsible, just not directly. Monsieur Sterling's story of his lost key strikes me as rather coincidental. The Major's safe is broken into with documents ransacked. The letters involving Madame Vandenbosch's secret left out. It is a crime with no apparent purpose. There is a matter regarding the Comtesse that we must discuss.
I should have said this morning. I'm sorry.
Monsieur, I am not quite sure you understand the severity of what has happened.
I am well aware, Detective. I just thought she would be able to help.
Would you allow a man with a smoking gun to remove his bullet from a victim's chest?
Yep.
I suppose not.
Yep. I understand that Monsieur Sterling was only trying to help, but surely he must have seen what it could do to for the integrity of my investigation. That's why I'm saying I don't trust him anymore.
I would like to begin my searches now. Since it is closest, I will start with the West Wing.
Okay.
I may not be back when you return. Here is the key to the other rooms. Please return it when you're done.
Or maybe I'll just lose it.
Merci. I shall guard it with my life.
Dude, first let us pay the Comtesse a visit. Oh my. Before I can accuse anyone of any crime, I must be sure if they were working alone or with another. This is a perfect opportunity to find evidence of any collision and look for the murder weapon. Dun, 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 dun. Key to the East Wing. Archibald allowed Margot to check the body. I don't trust him one bit. Maybe I'll lose your keys. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, West Wing we said first. So let's go into the Comtesse, right? He said that we need to have a conversation with the Comtesse. Should make myself known before entering.
Entrez.
Not like what she did with Madame. The Comtesse's room. It would be rude to not address her before searching her room. Yeah, I guess. I don't trust you. Are you a killer?
Detective, what a pleasure. I did not expect to see you.
Flattery will get you nowhere. I am on a mission.
In a purely professional capacity, I can assure you.
Yes,
There is no need to act so stiff, Detective.
I am.
Madame, after the revelation of your actions last night, I'm afraid my sense of humor is all but gone.
I will not apologize again for merely trying to help. Shall we get straight to it then? Let us not waste your time any further, Detective.
Please don't. Thank you. I saw you conversing with one of the young servants yesterday.
That would be Inga.
Inga?
She has been one of the most promising young women that has come from the shelter.
Oh,
Madame Vandenbosch took in a young lady from your shelter.
I think it was probably Mademoiselle Angeline.
There is no need to sound so surprised, Detective. She does have a heart.
For servants? I don't think so.
I did not mean to sound so cruel. I just did not expect Madame to hire someone of that background after the incident with her previous maid, Florette.
People change, Detective. You should not judge someone on their past actions.
I don't know, she still seems really rude and she handled that entire thing really poorly, so I don't know.
Believe me, Countess, I know that only too well.
I commend you on your dedication with the woman you help. It is most honorable.
Be careful, Detective. That almost sounded like a compliment.
It is your actions in this house that have been questionable, madame. Your work outside is something that many more could take note of.
We do what we can.
Have you been able to find many of the girls from the shelter work?
We wouldn't be doing a very good job if I could only help one girl. I in fact found work for one of them as a maid in Monsieur da Silva's house recently.
Is that so?
She has fitted into Monsieur's home well.
What is better, Detective? That she remained in an abusive house, or she is able to rebuild her life with an honest wage in a prosperous house?
Oh, yeah, no, definitely.
When put like that, is she happy in her position?
The happiest she has been in years. I check in with them all as often as possible. And if there was a problem, I would know.
You're so distrustful, but you do such nice things. I think someone said that she does nice things to hide the person that she really is, and I'm starting to believe that. I'm glad to hear that more girls are building a better future for themselves, and is with the help from the Comtesse that it has been able to happen.
Merci.
I am now going to search your chambers. And there's nothing you can do about it. The wonders of modern technology, what a joy it must be to have music in one's home. Modern technology, I love that. Book. What are you reading? Perhaps the happy couple's engagement has someone in a particularly romantic mood. Oh, that's cute. Not with me though. I am here for professional things. Okay. Doesn't want to play. Fireplace is probably the same thing he says about all fireplaces.
Oh.
Okay, it is first aid kit, maybe? A first aid kit full of medical equipment, bandages, plasters, antiseptics, and a pair of scissors. Okay, so she was for sure just like trying to help, but like she could have spoken to us first about it. Perhaps a present for the family as a thank you for their hospitality. Maybe a present for the engagement. I don't know why we can look at all the plants. He says the same thing about each and every plant. What was the other thing? Was the fireplace and then the chair. Nothing else that we can have a look at. Gramophone player, romantic novel. That's it. Okay. We'll talk to her again about stuff, I guess.
Go ahead, Detective.
Perhaps I was a little rash with my response to you examining the mage's body.
A compliment and now an apology. Well, Detective, you certainly have changed your tune.
Yeah, but what you did was still not right. You should have spoken to him before.
There was something I was still unsure of. You mentioned that your training was some years ago.
Maybe they worked together in the army?
From my days as a nurse, oui.
If that is so, why would you have brought several pieces of equipment usually found in a physician's bag?
One must always be prepared, Detective.
I guess so. I guess if you have some like history or some experience in something, I guess you would like always be prepared in that kind of situation, especially something like being a nurse or something. I guess that's a skill that you always lean on when it's necessary.
Prepared? At an engagement celebration?
Always prepared.
If I had not brought them, I would not have been able to assist you last night. Perhaps you should be
It is a
thankful
little
for my
suspicious.
precaution and not so suspicious.
It is a little bit suspicious though. And had she not brought them at all, I would not have to ask such a question quite.
Merci.
Yeah, there's some suspicion to be had about it. But for now, we'll just say she wanted to keep things... She wanted to be prepared. That's what we'll say. The ever-guarded Jacqueline Conrad. It is time I should question her on her conversation with the Major before searching her room. Quiet. Hello? There we go. Jackie.
Detective, what can I do for you?
Mademoiselle, I am sure you understand my reasoning for such intrusion.
If it's going to clear my name, be my guest.
If you wouldn't mind
That's
answering
great.
some questions, it can hopefully be cleared faster.
I'd like to start with your relationship with the Major.
Like I said, he's not the man he wants everyone to think he is.
Oui. But how is it you came to that conclusion?
You don't really want me to recount every conversation I've had with him, do you?
No, just the first time you felt like he wasn't a very good person.
There is one particular I had in mind.
Tell me about your
An
argument.
argument would imply it was a two-way conversation.
Yes, and now it's an investigation, so now it's a three-way
That
conversation.
is not how it was.
Here it is. I've been helping Angeline get exposure, her marriage to Gideon is big news, and his work is really paving the way for others. I saw the chance to get their names out there, and he didn't like it.
What was there not to like?
Your guess is as good as mine, Detective. But if I had to, I'd say he was jealous it wasn't his name at the top of the article.
I don't know, it sounds like he was trying to be protective, but probably because of the whole blackmail situation.
And his reason to storm off?
Oh, you know about that. Let's just say I didn't accept his pathetic attempt to get me to stop the story. If you're gonna try and pay someone off, at least make it worth their while.
I thought the Major would only be supportive of Mademoiselle Angeline. There must be more to why he would not want her success to be known. I'm sure you have grown weary of the subject, but Monsieur Beckers...
You've really got a fascination with that guy.
I would not say fascination. An interest, perhaps.
Well, I'll save you the bother of trying to find out more about him. He's not that interesting. In fact, he's a bit of a wimp if you ask me.
He seems like it, to be completely
That is
honest.
not the impression I got of him.
That's because you've only seen the side of him he wants you to. He knows what to say in front of the right people. But behind closed doors, he's clueless.
He sounds like a loudmouth. You know when they say a dog's bark is bigger than their bite? He kind of seems like that. Clueless in what way?
Let me guess. The first thing he told you was that he was a union leader.
A man that is proud of his
Sorry.
work is not something to be sneered at.
I'm getting so into it that I'm like reading ahead and I'm realizing that I'm cutting off the dialogue. Sorry about that. I'll stop.
Don't get me wrong, he has a way with words, and he can certainly rally a crowd. But that's about it. At the end of the day, he's a representative and nothing more. He's got to play the part, not just learn the lines.
Isn't that a little bit like most of our politicians these days? Mademoiselle does not think particularly highly of Monsieur Beckers. She is a strong, independent woman, but to use the term wimp is an unnecessary attack on his character. I don't know, is it?
Merci, mademoiselle.
Sure thing, Detective. And if you change your mind on that exclusive about that shooting...
If I do change it, you shall be the first to know.
He's very sweet. Okay, so we've got a book, we've got a bed, we've got a newspaper. Among them, a recent article by Jackie Conrad about the riots linked to Ernesto's factory. Peaceful strikes turn to loss of lives as violence breaks out on Frontline. Following the tragic events in the city that has darkened the spirits of the people and brought to a screeching halt the rising defiance of the working class, the area has been cordoned off and police presence at the scene has increased. Factory security forces have been asked to step down and the powers handed over to law enforcement services. Workers laid down their tools, switched off all machinery, and stood together shoulder to shoulder as the fight for fair pay and conditions raged on. What started as peaceful protests by those employed at the factories has turned into a battle of class with support for the workers coming in from all over the city. Although reports have not been confirmed, sources stated that violence broke out following a second wave surge of supporters. Official numbers have not been published, but it is believed that as many as 8 workers have lost their lives in the fighting. My goodness. Oh my goodness. The Workers' Frontline has been considered as a representation of the people and working class of Belgium that now refuse to work in such demanding conditions for such a demeaning and insufficient wage. Chief Commissioner LaRue has confirmed that the outbreak of violence and resulting civilian deaths are being investigated, and an official statement is to be made in the coming days. Jacqueline Conrad. Interesting. Quite rough. Can I look in your cupboard? Is it okay? There does not seem to be anything of interest in there. Okay, that's good. Pocket knife. Ooh. I presume this belongs to Jackie. Chasing a good story may lead her into some precarious scenarios. Okay. I don't know how I feel about that, but alrighty then. Cluttered workstation.
Huh.
Jackie has set up a makeshift office in her room. She must bring her work with her everywhere. Mr. Artigue spotted leaving the Velvet Tickle Friday at 23:15. Comber House has been poaching off neighboring land. Boar, deer, and duck. Maggie to follow up. Mrs. Bonte found her husband in her marital bed with a young maidservant. Testament from maid needed. Mr. Deneau overheard in the Cackling Crow speaking poorly of King Leopold. He said questionable ideas. We say doubtful, skeptical, shady. Notes from Francis by Monday. Interesting. Wow, she works very hard. That's quite cool. But she's still a little bit suspicious. I'm not gonna lie. Okay.
Go right ahead, Detective.
I was surprised to learn Monsieur de Silva and the Major worked together.
All Felix cared about was money and filling his pockets with it. That's why he got into bed with de Silva.
De Silva?
The Major was not in need of money, though.
Need and want are two very different things. Did he need to move here and leech off the madame? No, but he wanted to.
Ouch. I like that she says it how it is, but man, she's got quite a sharp tongue. Tell me your opinion of their work together?
As far as I know, De Silva hired him to work security. He was worried what could happen to his precious factories if things got ugly.
And your reporters were there to cover the story when it did turn that way.
My reporters go where there is news to be told.
And you predicted the violence that occurred?
Anyone could see that was gonna happen. If you ask me, Hugo should have acted sooner.
Interesting.
Merci, mademoiselle.
Interesting. Ha 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 ha. Anything else? Nope. Okay. Let's go to the next room. Are we ready to go? Yeah? Cool. Here we are in Mademoiselle Angeline and Gideon's room. I wonder what we shall find. Gideon's room is pristine? Is it? What is that?
Huh.
I could have mistaken it for my own. He's so sweet. What's this? Seems they used to be closer. Perhaps their recent behavior was merely a facade. Could it be possible that Gideon collaborated with Zachariah? Interesting. Because they didn't like the Major or something? That's very interesting to note too, isn't it? Alrighty. What is this on the windowsill? It looks like a bunch of money.
Oh.
The fallen snow, okay. There's nothing else. Okay, let's see. Can we... Okay. There's nothing... Oh. Wait. With all the west guest rooms searched, I should make my way to the guest rooms. To the east of the first floor, there must be evidence of collusion somewhere. Okay, but I want to go back. No, I can't go back. Oh, to the male bedrooms. I think we should be careful. Oh, Inga, hello.
Mademoiselle.
Bonjour, Monsieur Poirot. Pardon, Detective Poirot.
Just a detective is quite all right.
Bon, can I help you with something?
It was you that alerted the house to the Major's body, was it not?
I was taking him a plate of food, but he didn't answer to my knocking.
Okay.
You then entered the study.
I did. He wasn't moving. He just lay there.
I did not mean to upset you again. Seeing him there would be troubling for anyone, and I'm sure it is not a memory you wish to relive.
No. Tell me about your relationship with the other staff.
I suppose we're like a family. We argue, but most of the time we get along.
That's quite cute.
You must all be quite close, then.
Some more than others.
Ooh, tell me.
You refer to whom, mademoiselle?
Well, Maman Rihanna, she's been here the longest, and she's very close with Lizzie on account of Luke.
Oh. How is it Mademoiselle Elizabeth's late fiance connects them?
Maman Ray is Luke's sister.
What?
You didn't know that?
No, I did not. Does Madame Cassandra know that?
I thought she would have said. She talks about him all the time. It must have been awful losing him in those riots.
In the riots?
Apparently, he was right at the front when they were charged. They didn't stand a chance. If I had been the one responsible for his death, I wouldn't want Maman Ray looking for me.
You just gave us so much information, and you have no idea. And she wasn't found this morning? Huh. Interesting.
Mademoiselle Rihanna, Maman Ray, she has expressed her desire for revenge.
Every time she talks about what happened.
Oh. How is it that the knowledge of Luke's death has eluded me for so long? The death of a brother is certainly motive enough. For sure! I did not see an aggressive side to Mademoiselle Rihanna when we spoke, but I wonder if she would act on such impulses for revenge if the opportunity arose. If you do not mind me inquiring, what brought you to the women's shelter?
I guess you wouldn't know anything about life on the streets.
It is not an experience I have had to face personally, but I understand that many are forced into it, and the lifestyle that comes with it.
No.
The lifestyle of a thief, you mean?
Put rather bluntly, oui.
I think we found our thief.
You are the first officer that has not taken one look at me and pulled out their handcuffs.
Mademoiselle, I can see you have turned your life around, and I commend you on your efforts.
Yeah.
Without the Countess, I would probably be rotting in a cell somewhere.
No. There is an obvious alliance to the Comtesse, and an understandable one at that. Quite,
Merci, mademoiselle.
Ooh. What is? Inga may seem nothing more than a young innocent maid, but there is something that she is withholding. If I am to solve the cases before me, I must learn what it is. Ha ha ha. Interesting. Uncover Inga's involvement in recent affairs. Interesting. Interesting that we saw Archie's face there too, huh? I wonder if Monsieur Zachariah is as seemingly innocent as his brother. I should speak with him before searching his rooms. He was upset this morning though, so maybe we should just be very careful talking to him now.
Monsieur Demir, I hope you are feeling better today.
Nothing a good night's sleep couldn't fix.
He seems fine.
Très bien. I wonder if you would be up to discussing certain matters with me.
He had to carry the mage's body though, didn't he?
Whatever you need.
I'm sorry if dealing with the mage's body brought up any familiar emotions. Or...
I lost my taste for death a long time ago, but it had to be done. I'm certainly in no rush to be carrying a dead body again, though.
Yeah, of course not. No, it's amazing that you did that in the first place.
Most understandable. I shall extend the same gratitude to you as I did to your brother.
You've spoken to him already. How is he?
Perhaps that should be a question you ask him yourself.
Yeah, maybe.
I spoke with your brother about your past.
I bet he had a lot to say. He always did have an opinion on the war.
No, he actually didn't say anything about the war. He was concerned about you.
When I say your past, I refer to your past as brothers.
Okay, well, what did he say?
It seems you both had the same sentiment for this party. Perhaps the bridges that you thought were once burnt are in fact primed to be reconstructed.
No.
We'll see how probable that reconstruction is going to be. Until he sees my point of view, I don't know how we can move forward.
What is your point of view?
What is there for him to understand before the bond can be repaired?
He lost his friends in the war, the same as everyone. But somehow he has forgiven. I'm sorry, Detective, I can't. And Gideon just doesn't understand that.
After speaking with Monsieur Gideon about his brother's state of mind, I think the best thing for them both would be a reconciliation. For sure, I think that's very, very important for them. There's something that Monsieur Zachariah is sorry that he is leaving out, though. The death of his friends and comrades weighs heavy on him. Oh. Your brother was talking with the Comtesse while in the salon. I was not aware they were so close.
Those two, close.
They must share something in common to be able to hold the conversation for the time they did.
If there is one thing I know about my brother, it's that he will not. No. He cannot be rude. He just doesn't have it in him.
He literally punched the Major in the face. I would consider that to be somewhat rude.
Was it not your brother that punched Monsieur Gideon?
Ah, that's different. He was asking for it. If you put my brother in a room with 5 socialites like her, he would work his way around every single one of them, offering his full attention and finest manners.
Okay, very charming then, just like our little Poirot.
Merci for your assistance, monsieur.
Okay, let's look through your room. Let's see what you're hiding. Cigarette butts?
Huh.
The room is littered with cigarette butts discarded right next to the ashtray. Why not in? What are you doing, bro? Anything else? Fireplace, okay. Ceremonial dagger. An ornamental dagger from Zachariah's time in the wall. Him. Interesting, is it not? Ah. Well then, I think you have some explaining to do.
Always got time for my favorite detective.
There's a particular item I found while conducting my search.
The dagger. I wondered how long it would take for that to become an issue.
I shall give you the opportunity to explain the reason for it being here before I jump to any conclusions.
It was going to be a wedding gift for Gideon. I've maybe not been the best brother in recent years. I thought this could make up for some of it.
No.
After what happened to the Major, I thought it was a bit tasteless.
Oh, quite, yeah, maybe.
You did not see it fitting to tell me you were harboring a rather sizable knife in your room?
Yeah, he probably should have said that.
I wouldn't say harboring. And I wasn't expecting to be a suspect in a murder.
Yeah. That's okay, that's fair.
Assistance.
That's quite fair. I think that he has fair reasoning behind that. Ooh, we have a connection to make. That's interesting. Oh, okay. Well, I was getting there slowly. The Demir brothers, since a strange relationship is enough to suggest they would not have worked together. Yeah, I guess. Okay. Got you. Okay. Is that it? In here? Let's just double
Always
check.
got time.
Okay.
Merci for...
Okay, let's go. Next. Da Silva. Is it Da Silva? Maybe it's the other one. Becker's, okay. Without him here, I am free to search it. Ooh, interesting. Where is he though? Not that there's anything to search, doesn't seem. Oh, there's a book. Inside Hugo's notebook, a hasty scribble regarding a meeting with, who I assume, Ernesto. Curious. He met with Ernesto. Huh. Why? It seems he has been attempting to write a speech of some kind. Unsuccessful though. I wonder, does this fit a pattern of behavior with Hugo? You underestimate the power of man's defiance. Your men, you are in a position to bring all of this to an end. All we ask is what we deserve. If you do not retract your men, they will be met with equal force. Too forceful, your weapons may beat your bodies, but they will not bruise our hearts' spirits. These are the men that have built our great nation, country, and will continue to. Money will not save your soul. I wonder if he had a meeting and then he stopped writing the thing. Interesting. Okay. Not quite sure. Photograph? Of? Whom? With so many siblings, it must have been difficult for Hugo to get attention. But that's him. Interesting. This looks like Van Gogh. Literally looks like Van Gogh. Okay. Any connections we can make? Oh, one. Interesting. Oh.
The pieces of the puzzle.
In Jackie's opinion, she doesn't value Hugo particularly highly. Would he collaborate with anyone else, I wonder? Maybe De Silva? Or someone else?
Another success.
There we go. Hugo and Ernesto confirmed each other's alibis. It's possible that they may have colluded to murder the Major. Can I find anything to support this? I don't know. Maybe in Ernesto's room. Maybe they would be smart enough to not talk. I mean, to not write about it, but rather talk about it. Or maybe not. I don't know. There's nothing else here, I don't think. So we'll go to the next one, I think. The business-minded Monsieur de Silva's room. Maybe we should speak to him first. Hello. There's a lot happening and I need your...
Monsieur de Silva,
I need to
am
question
sure you
you.
understand the necessity for this type of search.
Not really, Detective. Your speech was rather spirited. But it did not give me much faith in your investigation.
I don't like it.
I have not had my abilities questioned to my face by one of those I suspect of a crime before.
Well, if you wish to prove me wrong, you should hurry up and find Felix's killer.
You know when you try to go and buy a house or something, or you want to move to a house and the person, the like realtor, is kind of like, you have to be quick, there's someone else that also has an offer on it, and they try to like speed you up just so that they can close the deal. Yeah.
And I hope, with your help, monsieur, I shall.
Madame Van der Bosch spoke of your work with her late husband.
Yes, I helped him invest some money. Unfortunately, he was not the businessman he thought he was.
Madame Van den Bosch had a very similar view. At least he could have taken solace that you were both in the same position.
I think you're confused, Detective. It was Edwin that lost his fortune, not I.
Did you not help him to lose his fortune then? Like, what is going on?
Forgive my naivete. If you were helping him make viable investments, would you not have seen the same opportunity for yourself?
I told him about the opportunities. I did not tell him to put his whole family's wealth into it. The prospect of doing good meant more to him than his profit margins. He was bound to fail.
And you didn't give him that
The
advice?
business declared bankruptcy.
It did, until it was purchased for a fraction of its worth and made the new owner a small fortune.
Who was the new owner? I'm beginning to see Monsieur de Silva's more ruthless side. It sounds as though the Viscount was trying to at least make a positive change, but perhaps he was missing Monsieur de Silva's cutthroat edge. I think so too. When we spoke of last night regarding Madame Van den Bosch.
Everything that I want to say on that matter has already been said.
I understand, monsieur. But what I would like to know is, was the late Viscount aware of your feelings towards his wife?
Excuse me, detective, but you have crossed the line.
No, I'm just a really good detective. You know, you were questioning my abilities, but I have found some things.
Cross the line like an attempt to bankrupt a business partner and friend so that you'll be able to swoop in and impress a certain target of your affections.
You tell him, Poirot.
You make such ridiculous accusations without a shred of proof.
I have all the proof I need.
Your reaction at the mere suggestion is proof enough, monsieur.
Uh-huh.
While I cannot arrest you for betrayal of a friend, I can hope your conscience does not forget, and that will be punishment enough.
Woo! Man, dude. Ooh. You're telling me he's cutthroat, you're cutthroat, Poirot. Monsieur de Silva's actions are not a criminal offense, but if there was a penalty for deception and deceit, he would surely receive a life sentence. If he has gone to such lengths before, what would stop him from committing a similar act again, this time to the Major? I know you have worked with the Major, but what do you know of his finances?
He didn't have much to speak of. I was always surprised at the life he lived.
It's because of Cassandra.
Surprised in what way?
Well, considering it wasn't that long ago he came to me asking about work, I didn't think he was in such good financial shape.
Well, he's not.
You offered him a position.
Nothing that he was willing to lower himself to. That's when he began talking about what else he could do for me.
Major worked security for your factories?
If you can call what him and his team did security. For the money I paid, I did not expect them to be so reckless.
Yeah, killing 8 workers was not so good.
It was a considerable amount you paid him?
There's no need to divulge amounts, but it was certainly more than was expected.
One would expect a business of Monsieur de Silva's caliber to have agreed a price for the Major's services. Why would he allow the Major to barter more? Tell me about the Major's security team.
He said they were all professionals, but I saw nothing of the sort. He said he had worked with them all in the army as their superior officer. They were men that could be trusted.
But that was not the case?
I had not even met them before they arrived on site. They brought their own equipment. They looked like they knew what they were doing.
Okay.
And this equipment, it included the weapons that injured and killed the workers?
It was not much of a choice, detective. I said they didn't need them, but Felix said it was essential. He said he knew better.
Oh dear. The more Monsieur talks, the shadier his dealings with the Major become. It is beginning to sound as though the riots were no accident. Quite.
That is all for now.
It seems that he wanted the Major to get into really bad position. Doesn't it? I don't know. That's what it seems like to me, at least. Ooh, letter. What is this? A letter stating the blackmailer would reveal information of his questionable business dealings. What? Monsieur de Silva, at first you may question the nature of this letter, but by its conclusion you will know that what you have fought so hard to keep hidden could be far from it. You have spent years feeding off the working backs of others and offering nothing in return. Your workers continue to take their lives into their own hands, day after day, with your shoddy, damaged and dangerous machines for a fraction of what they deserve. Deal after deal is made, and while your pockets become fatter, lining them with more of your blood money, it is your workers that must pay the price. The mistreatment and pain you have caused does not only reside in the factories that you own, but the house that you live in. You do not value the lives of those that allow you to live the opulent life that you do, and I will not allow that to continue. This is starting to sound a little bit like Inga, isn't it? I can no longer sit back and watch as you disregard the sense of integrity or morality and continue to remain on your self-made pedestal, lording over those that deserve so much more. Maybe it's written by Margot, though, as well. It is time you pay the price for your crimes, and the cost is 5,000 francs. It is a small price to pay for my silence, for if I do not receive it before Friday, it will not be cash you are paying, but rather years behind bars. Bring the money in a small brown paper parcel addressed to Monsieur Courtier, to the post office on Rue des Entrepôts. Give it to the cashier and leave. If you do as requested, you will not hear from me again, and you may continue your life of luxury. It It is obvious you do not value others' lives, but I urge you to consider what yours is worth. Interesting. Maybe this is alluding to something to do with the Viscount? Huh. I'm gonna speak to you now. I didn't see the letter before.
What is it?
No, shush. Push on Y and so hit the
I
letter.
have spoken of a potential blackmail ring, and yet you still kept your letter to yourself.
It is none of your business. And it is nothing more than a cheap trick to have me admit something that is not true.
If that were the case, it would be strange for you to have kept the letter and brought it with you, would it not?
Your persistence is a trait I...
Monsieur de Silva has remained blunt, if not curt with his responses to my questions. Perhaps it would be best to act in a courteous and empathetic manner so that he may be more forthcoming with the truth of his blackmail letter and its contents. There must be a reason you thought justified hiding it. You do not have to enjoy it, monsieur, but you must answer to it.
No reason, detective. Merely saving you from wasting your time.
No.
I would be the judge of that. I would like to know about any and all evidence that may help my investigation. I trust there is nothing else you deem a waste of my time.
Of course not, officer. It's not as though you think I'm harboring some illicit secret. The letter was a pathetic attempt to intimidate me. Nothing more.
I'll be the judge of that. Deal after deal is made, and while your pockets become fatter, lining them with more of your blood money, you do not value the lives of those that allow you to live the opulent life that you do? Yes.
I have never heard so much rubbish in all my life. I value those that work hard and deserve it.
That suggests there are some that you do not respect.
Yes, well, why should I praise someone for doing a poor job? You make me sound like some monster.
Monsieur, the letter does not only discuss your questionable business dealings, but also cases of abuse against your staff. Both accusations that must be taken very seriously.
Detective, there is a difference between telling a member of my staff what to do and abuse.
And it is you that decides where that line is drawn?
In my house? Yes, it is.
Monsieur does not like being pressed on the subject of how he treats his staff. If he had nothing to hide, there should be no need for such a reaction. Do you have any ideas as to which staff member may have expressed their abuse?
Please stop calling it that. I treat all my servants exactly how I always have, and no one has complained before.
That does not mean your behavior is appropriate.
They have one chance. If they are not doing the job they are hired to do, they are gone. You would be surprised how many staff expect an easy ride.
See, this is the kind of thing that you shouldn't be saying to your staff. They might see that as abuse, you know? Did not expect Monsieur to treat his staff the same as his friends, but I also did not expect him to treat them like stray dogs, quite.
Is there a specific member of staff that may have expected such a ride?
There is one girl, a new maid. I didn't expect great things from her, but Comtesse de Vos promised me she could do what was required.
I thought so. This must be the young girl that the Comtesse spoke of. Perhaps the position she is finding for these girls are not the best fit.
That is all for now.
Oh dear. Okay. Any links to be made? Yes, actually. Investigate the blackmail. Okay. Oh. Inga got the job from Margot. Ernesto employed a servant from the women's shelter.
I should not be surprised by my own...
Margot is making her shelter girls do her dirty work, finding dirt on members of the social elite. Oof. Yeah, it's starting to seem more and more like Margot is in the middle of this all, doesn't it? Ooh, interesting. Maybe we should talk to her then. Oh, I can't leave yet? Okay. Is there anything else I need to look at? Oh, there's another letter. Interesting. A contract for a partnership between Ernesto and Hugo. It's missing Hugo's signature. This agreement is governed by the laws of the Kingdom of Belgium. Both parties agree to the following. Current workers' strike shall cease in all manners and forms. Factory floor machine operators and supervisors shall return to their positions immediately. Terms of the above contract shall be implemented and relevant action taken directly. Signed, Mr. Ernesto de Silva, factory owner and employer Ernesto de Silva, union leader. Interesting. Huh.
What?
Monsieur Demir invited Monsieur Becker so that you two might sit down and find some common ground.
Yes, and no one asked him to.
But surely it is beneficial to both parties. Your profits must have been affected.
There are barely any profits to speak of.
Okay, so they were, okay, essentially.
Why have those talks not taken place and the deal arranged?
Monsieur Beckers has made no attempt to speak with me and offered no counter-offer. The ball is in his court, Detective.
So that's why he was writing notes and he was like scratching out and stuff because he wanted to fight, but maybe he's not going to fight. Although it is Monsieur de Silva's wages and treatment of his staff that is in question, it sounds as though he is at least trying to resolve the issue. Surprisingly, unlike Monsieur Beckers, yeah.
That is all for now.
Yeah, quite interesting. Ah, there we go, of course. I'm doubtful this duo would collaborate. Would Ernesto deal with another member of the house? Perhaps someone who never confirmed his alibi? Huh. Hugo and Ernesto seem unlikely to collude.
Magnifique.
Ernesto doesn't strike me as the sort of man that would ask for help, no matter how important. Okay, Ernesto may have asked Margot for help. Okay.
What is it now?
Did you speak with the Comtesse directly about hiring a servant from the shelter?
She approached me. I thought it was rather brash.
In what way?
Assuming that I would want to take on another servant, and one from such a troubled background. She is running the charity, not I.
Monsieur, there is something you are keeping from me. Your business relationship with the Major was obviously towing the line of legality.
When he came to me, I told him that with the factories on strike and my profits pouring down the drain, I had nothing for him. But he said he could help me get them all back to work and the factories earning.
By killing them all?
His rates were steep, but he said he knew what needed to be done, and he was prepared to do it. A week passed and they were all still on strike. In fact, even more had joined them. He made excuse after excuse, demanding more and more money for the job to be done. But he never actually told me what he was going to do.
Oh dear.
The riots.
I had no idea they were going to charge them like that. How was I meant to know?
And even following such a tragedy, he continued to demand money from you.
He said if he wanted my silence, it would cost. Do you have any idea what it could do to my livelihood, my name? If it got out that I had paid the so-called security that did that.
I have every idea, monsieur. You hired a militia to take action against your own workers. You deserve whatever name is chosen for being so morally bereft in your decision-making.
I didn't know that was what he was going to do. You must believe me.
I don't know. You know that he's not a very good person, so why did you trust him?
I have to believe nothing but the truth. And the truth, monsieur, is that it is not only the Major that has the blood of those men on his hands.
Unfortunately, he's right.
That is all.
Ooh! Ooh! He gives me goosebumps. Man, dude. I don't trust Margot at all.
What a revelation.
Margot may know more than she's letting on. If she has an inside link with the staff of the house, for sure. I've found no clear evidence of the guests working together in any capacity. What has become clear is the Comtesse's connection to the staff. Could there be something more to their relationship? I think so. I definitely think so. Talk to Inga. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Let's go. Where can I find her though? Would she still be here? Or is she gone? No, she's still here. Hello. Tell me things. Tell me your true relationship with the Comtesse.
She helped me at the shelter and with this job.
That I am already aware of. What I am not is what else she tasked you with.
Pardon, detective?
I know that your position as a servant in this house is not your only job. What did Comtesse de Vos ask you to do while in this house?
She said I had to do what she asked, or I would be back on the street. I didn't want to do it. If anyone found out, I would be the prime suspect.
It is not the sweet Comtesse we will think that she is. Madame van der Bosch would have been aware of young Inga's past, and she is worried that they would accuse her. What was asked of her must be related to her past life as a thief.
Merci,
maybe.
mademoiselle.
Interesting. Wow. Following Margot's orders.
Magnifique.
Nice. Okay. Inga has admitted that her work in the house is not wholly honest. Inga is assisting with theft.
I should not be surprised by my own skills.
Okay, stop. I thought it was responsible for Archibald to lose his key, but now its disappearance makes sense. Inga stole Archibald's key. To find out the thing. Oh my gosh, Margot is in all of the control of everything. Oh my gosh, it's Margot. Oh, she's at least the blackmailer. What was it that the Comtesse asked you to steal from the house?
Nothing. She said I was to take nothing.
If it was not something she wished you to take, what was it?
She wanted me to find out information about the family and Monsieur Hagen.
Why did she request that?
At first I didn't know, but when I heard about Mademoiselle Angeline being blackmailed, and then the Major, I knew she had used what I found.
Perhaps my suspicions of Monsieur Sterling's involvement with the Major's safe were incorrect, and his key was not lost but stolen. Tell me how you accessed the safe?
I knew Monsieur Archie had a key, and it would be easy to get it from him.
You knew that the Major asked Monsieur Sterling to access the safe from time to time, and if anything was ever discovered missing, he would surely take the blame.
Woo!
I never took anything. I only told the Comtesse what I had found.
Oh dear.
And that was?
About Monsieur Hagen and the Madame's relationship. And Angeline.
I'm sure the Comtesse was pleased to hear such valuable information.
She said I had done a good job, but I needed proof. That's why I went back and got the letters last night.
And then put them back. So it was the young Inga that beat Madame van der Bosch to the safe last night. But why would they be left in such a precarious fashion? When I returned to the study this morning, the letters remained out and the safe open.
I fetched the letters again and took them to the Comtesse last night. But she shouted at me and said what a stupid girl I was.
What?
You were only doing as she requested.
Yeah.
She said it was too dangerous for her to have them with you around. That's when I returned them to the study.
Oh my goodness.
I thought I heard someone on the stairs, so I just threw them back. It was dark as I dared not turn the light on. Someone would have seen it.
Trying to slot a key into a lock in the dark is no easy fact. That would explain the scratches on the safe. I see. If Madame van der Bosch had only tried to retrieve the letters minutes earlier, she would have surely crossed paths with Inga.
Merci, mademoiselle.
My goodness me. Wow. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That is crazy. Knows of the hidden room. She accessed the safe. Oh, Stinger. Oh, I see. Okay. I wonder how many secrets the house holds for Inga to find. She knows of the hidden room.
What a revelation.
Okay. If there's somewhere in this house where a secret lies, it will surely be found in the hidden room. Vandenbosch secrets may be in the hidden room. My suspicions of the Comtesse's connections with Inga was correct. She was using the girl to find out anything and everything she could about the family, while the Comtesse need not even get her hands dirty. I thought so. Okay, so Jackie was right from the start. That the Comtesse is not who she's trying to show everyone that she is. What else have you relayed to the Comtesse?
That's all. I swear. I heard Monsieur Archie and Monsieur Felix talking about a storeroom, but I haven't found it.
I knew it! Archie.
Is the Countess aware of this room?
I told her it was somewhere in the house, but I didn't know where.
Hmm.
She wasn't happy with me that I hadn't found it yet.
I believe if young Inga knew the location of the secret store, she would have been forthcoming with it. It may be naive on my part, but she has already incriminated herself and has nothing else to lose. Quite.
Merci, mademoiselle. Your honesty today has helped me greatly.
Wow.
I suppose that I will lose my position at the house now.
No, because it wasn't you. It was the Comtesse, to be completely honest. That's how I feel about it, at least.
That is not my decision to make. But when the whole truth is revealed, it will not be the pawns the law looks to convict. We shall be coming for the queen.
Wow, I love that. Love that. Yes. Okay,
Some would say a lucky guess.
Such a calculating web of lies and secrets. What motives could possibly justify such devious actions? Finally, I have unmasked the blackmailer. Mademoiselle Angeline and the other recipients of such letters may no longer live in fear. Comtesse de Vos shall pay for her crimes. Woo! We got the blackmailer. Yes. So now what? So now we just need to investigate the murder. I don't think she was the one who murdered the major, though. I think, we have to speak to Angeline about it. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Mademoiselle, merci for coming.
Okay.
Have you had a breakthrough, Detective?
Yes.
I have. Finally, I have the news you have awaited.
Please, Detective, don't hold me in suspense.
I have finally uncovered the identity of the one holding the Vandenbosch name to ransom.
Oh my, I feel faint at the thought of knowing who could have done this to us.
What? Because it was your mother's, best friend who did that. It's horrible.
It is said to keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. It is Comtesse de Vos that is behind the letters.
I love the way that he said that. Comtesse de Vos.
I don't believe it. What about the Major's letter?
Not only his, but a letter to Monsieur da Silva.
She was blackmailing him as well. Detective, I just don't know what to say.
She's a gossip.
Take a moment, mademoiselle. It is a lot of information to take in.
This feels a lot like Gossip Girl all of a sudden, actually, now that I think about it.
I just don't understand why she would do such a cruel thing.
What do you know of young Inga's past?
She has never been particularly forthcoming with it. Only that she was homeless for some time and that she was at the women's shelter before here.
And it is there that the Comtesse abused her power and manipulated her to uncover secrets of the family.
All this time she has been working for Margot, doing her dirty work.
Yep.
I am afraid so, mademoiselle.
Mademoiselle is in a state of shock to learn that such a close friend of the family has betrayed them in such a cruel way. It must be devastating.
Is Maman aware?
You are the first I have told, mademoiselle. Next will be the authorities.
I'm afraid that we'll have to wait.
Still to play, mademoiselle. We must go through the correct channels.
And we will. I want to see her punished to the fullest extent of the law. But we cannot telephone anyone as the lines are still down.
Right.
Monsieur Archibald informed me earlier. I had hoped they would be working again. Last night's snow must have caused more damage than expected.
What if Margot's already spoken to Inga?
Last night? They have been done all weekend, Detective.
But he received a phone call. The Major received a phone call to go to his office.
Detective, are you okay?
How could I have been such a fool? I saw Monsieur Sterling talk on the phone, but I heard no ring.
Detective Poirot?
It was all a lie. A scene acted out for my benefit to throw me off the scent. I believed that the Major was still alive at that time. I had no reason to investigate anyone's whereabouts beforehand, anyone being Monsieur Sterling and his staff.
Would you like me to fetch you a glass of water, Detective?
Oh, she's so sweet.
My apologies, mademoiselle. I was taken by surprise for a moment.
Oh my gosh,
But I
I've
have
got
regained my
goosebumps.
composure. A glass of water is not required. Would you excuse me? Merci, mademoiselle.
I know that this is such a cliffhanger to end off on, but it's chapter 7 next, so this is where we're going to end, and we'll continue in the next episode. I'm so excited to figure out what's going on. Oh my gosh! I knew that Archibald wasn't right. I had a feeling about him. If at any point in this video I made you smile or made your day just a little bit brighter, then please consider giving this video a like. And if you would like to see similar content, I played the entire ABC Murders, which is also by Agatha Christie. You can find that on my channel, and once you're there and you feel like subscribing, then please feel free to do so. I hope that you have or have had a very good day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye! Oh my goodness, the drama.